Good morning everybody and welcome to our first lesson all about fractions. So the first thing I need you to do is to recap your mind back probably to year 3 now, which is probably the last time you did fractions, to think about the meaning of the words here. So we have the word fraction, dominator, numerator, equal parts and integer, and on this side over here I have given you their definitions. Please can you pause the video now and have a think about which definition goes with which word, so when we come onto this vocabulary in a second you'll know what I mean. So hopefully you've managed to have a think about what the definitions to each one of those words mean, and you can see the answers on the screen now. You don't need me to read it out. You can mark your own answers. Have you got them right? Have you got some of them right? Let's see how you've done. Pause now and you can mark your work. So now that you've got all of the vocabulary under your belt, you should be able to work out the answers to these questions. So I want you to have a think about what a unit and a non-unit fraction is and see if you can answer where there is a blank in the sentence. So for example, a unit fraction always has a numerator of Do you know the answer? And then once you've had a think about those sentences, can you write down a unit fraction and a non-unit fraction with the same denominator? Have a go. Pause here, give yourself maybe 4 or 5 minutes to have a go at that, and then come back for the answers. Hopefully you've had enough time to think about the answers, so I will tell you what they are now. So a unit fraction always has a numerator of 1. No matter what happens, a unit fraction has to have a numerator of 1. It cannot be 2, 3, 4, can't be 0, must be 1. A non-unit fraction has a numerator that is more than 1. So it could be 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 1 million. Though I don't think you'll ever have 1 million in a fraction, but for the purpose of this conversation, that's what it could be. An example of a unit fraction could be 1/3. Any fraction that has a 1 at the top and a number that is bigger underneath. And an example of a non-unit fraction might be 2/3. Let's have another think. Can you draw a unit fraction and a non-unit fraction? With the same denominator, I could have had 1/5 and 4/5. I could have had 1/3 and 2/3. I could have had 1/10 and 6/10, as long as the unit fraction had 1 at the top and the non-unit fraction had a different number that wasn't 1 at the top. And you can see on each one of my examples, the denominator was the same. If you're having a bit of trouble getting all that around your head, I suggest you go back to the beginning, you watch the video again with the answers and watch it a few times to help it sink in. So using that information, I want you to see if you can have a go at the following question. You can see a table on the board here, and underneath you can see a series of fractions. What I would like you to do is to see if you can put those fractions in the right places. I'll do one for you now. So for example, a unit fraction, which we know can only have 1 as a numerator, and a fraction that is less than 1 whole, less than 1. Okay, so in there I could put 1/3. Okay, in the non-unit fractions, a fraction that is equal to 1 whole, I could put 2/2, because 2 is bigger than 1, which means it's no longer a unit fraction. And 2 parts of, if a piece was split into 2, and I gave you both parts, you would have the whole part, just like if you were eating a pizza. If I split the pizza into 2, but I gave you both parts of the pizza, you would have all the pizza, so you would have the whole. Have a go at trying to put the rest of the fractions into the right place. If you need to go back to this definition, oh, you can't see it all. Bear with me a second. Oh, how do I? This is going well. If you need to go back to this slide with the definition, I know you can't see it, but I can't get it to go back, then please do press pause, wind back, wind forward as you need to. I would say that this is probably going to take you about 3-4 minutes to fill in. So have a go now and then pause it, come back from the answers in a second. I've just popped up the answers here for you so you can mark your own work. Hopefully you've got them in the right place. If you haven't, like I said before, I would go back to the beginning couple of slides, rewind the video, go over the definitions again and have another look, see if you can work out where you have gone wrong. Okay, now on to the meaty part of today's lesson. We're going to spend a long time today looking at how fractions can be represented in different ways. So the first activity I would like you to do is to look at this diagram on the board. Now, more of you will have seen it in your cold test, so I know a lot of you struggle to know what to do with it. So we're going to go through it with now together. So in the middle, I'm going to put the fraction 2/3. Okay, now what you need to do where it says bar model is you're going to draw 2/3 as a bar model. So I'm going to draw my bar, I'm going to split it into 3 because my denominator says that my whole is into 3 parts, and then I'm going to colour in 2 parts of that bar model because my numerator has 2, which means I've got 2 parts of that whole. Okay, now I'm going to draw it. I'm going to draw it as 2 red smiley faces and 1 purple smiley face. 2 of my 3 smiley faces have been coloured the same colour, so 2/3 are pink. In words, I can write 2/3. And then on a number line, I can show 2/3. So 0 and 1. 2/3 is going to be here. Remember when you do your number line, that wasn't a very good example. You have to try and split your number line into equal parts. So that will be 0/3. That'll be 1, which is 3/3. So we've got 1, that'll be 1/3 here. So this will be 2/3 here. It is trickier to do the number line, so if you struggle, don't worry about that. Just focus on the bar model inwards and draw it. Let me give you another example. Let me just rub this off. And this time I will show you an example for, let's do 5/6. So my bar model again, I'm going to draw a bar and I'm going to split it into 6 because my denominator is 6, so I know the whole is split into 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My denominator is 5, so I'm going to colour in 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? On my draw it side, I think this time I'm going to draw 5 yellow counters and 1 blue counter. So that is 5/6 because 5 out of 6 of them are coloured yellow, and I'm going to write 5/6 in here. And then on the number line, I can draw, that'll be 6/6, that's 0/6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this here will be 5/6. You have got a piece of paper now. See if you can do it for the fraction. Let me just rub it out really quickly. Can you do it for the fraction 4/5? Have a go now on a piece of paper. So before we move on to the main activity, I just wanted to show you fractions shown in lots of different ways. Because as long as you're showing the fraction, it could look like anything. So have a look at the picture in front. Look at all the representations. Can you see the ones that represent 1/6? That's what this fraction here is, 1/6. Give yourself 1 minute to have a go. Pause now, and then I'll show you the answers. So here are the answers for that question. You can see here, this is a bar model that's been split into 6 parts. 1 part is coloured blue, which is 1/6. You can see here, I've got a little pie, a little sort of pie diagram. it's been split into 6 pieces. 1 piece is coloured purple, which is 1/6. And finally down here, you can see I've got 6 sweets altogether. 5 of them are this purple sweet, and 1 of them is this like yellowy green sweet. So that also shows 1/6 because 1 out of 6 of them is different. Now you've had a look at that one, see if you can have a look at this fraction. This is circled the unit fractions. Now remember, a unit fraction must have a 1 as its numerator. Go and have a think, come back and I will tell you the answers. Here are the answers on the screen for you now. This one here, this fraction will show 1/3 because 1 of 3 pieces is coloured in. And down here, we have 1/4 because 1 of 4 pieces are coloured in. Finally, have a look at this one. Which fraction is represented below? Now, there are 2 answers to this one. So see if you can come up with 2 answers for the question. Pause here and then come back from the answer. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces all together. So I can colour in 9 pieces. I can write a 9 in my denominator, sorry, because there's 9 circles all together. 3 of them are coloured orange. So this could show the fraction 3/9. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are coloured in white. So I will also accept the answer 6/9 as well. Now it's your turn to have a go. This worksheet is on the Teams lesson, but you won't be able to edit it. I would suggest that you do this on a piece of paper, and when you come to hand in your work, you hand it in as pictures. So on Teams, I will show you actually. So if you do it on a piece of paper and want to upload your photos, on the task screen, this is the one for one of your lessons last week, down here it says add work. If you click that, you'll get a screen that looks like this, and you'll be able to add upload a device down here. You'll be able to upload a photo, you'll be able to upload a Word document, anything that you need to upload those photos. I want you to go now and have a go at doing these for the fractions on the board. So you have 1/4, 3/5, 6/8 and 1 2/6. Once you've done that, come back to this video because I want to go through a think question with you, and then there are some think explain questions for you to do on your own. So just before you go on to do your think, explain and solve questions, I wanted to have a go at doing one together. So on the board you can quite clearly see it says which image is the odd one out, A, B, C, D or E. First things first, we have to work out what fraction is being represented with each one. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We know it's out of 8. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bits coloured in yellow, which makes 5/8. Let's have a look over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colours green, which makes 6/8. Down here we can quite see that we've got 5/8. And then here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces are coloured purple. Now I'm sure I've got no worries that all of you will agree with me that B is the odd one out, and it is the odd one out because it represents 6/8 instead of 5/8. And you can see I've really quickly answered the bottom of the question where it says redraw the image to show the correct fraction. Now you're here, you can move on to your think, explain, solve questions. Now if you wouldn't normally get on to solve in a lesson, I don't expect you to get on to solve today. As a minimum, everyone should do the do and the think questions. Most of you should do the explore questions too. If you don't get on to solve, it doesn't matter. Have a go, any questions, pop me a message. Well done.